Zoe Rosenberg, you may remember her from one of the Jubilee videos, Meat Eaters versus Vegans, whatever it was called. I thought she was really well spoken and just so obviously compassionate and dedicated to animals.
I've been to some of the darkest places on earth where these animals are tortured by the hundreds of thousands. You try to source local, and I get that, and I think it's great that you care about animals. I appreciate that a lot. If you go to a slaughterhouse where all of these animals are killed, regardless of where they're raised, there's nothing humane that happens there. Animals enter into a slaughterhouse as live animals, fearing for their lives, and they come out chopped up in pieces.
She was wearing an ankle monitor at the time, I believe she said that during the debate, for stealing 4 sick chickens from a Perdue plant in 2023. Her trial just ended last week, and unfortunately, she was found guilty on all 4 counts. Conspiracy, which is a felony. That's basically people deciding to commit a crime, planning a crime in advance. Again, that is a felony. She was also found guilty of trespassing and tampering with a vehicle. Her sentencing is not until December, and she could get as much as 4.5 years. I don't think she'll get that. The co-founder of Direct Action Everywhere, and Zoe is a activist with DXE. He was found guilty a couple of years ago for similar crimes, and he got 90 days in prison with time served, probation as well. But yeah, he didn't spend 4.5 years or whatever. I think his was up to 3 years or something in prison. So yeah, hopefully similar case with Zoe, but who knows. In the meantime, she is back on probation with an ankle monitor. The prosecution actually wanted her imprisoned while awaiting sentencing because, you know, she's such a danger to society. For Zoe herself, this is horrible. Obviously, even a day in prison for helping animals is a tragedy, especially when there are so many cases of people doing actually terrible, harmful things and getting minimal time. Brock Turner comes to mind. Remember that guy? He got 6 months. I don't think he served 6 months. And what did his dad say? Like 20 minutes of action, right? Referring to sexual assault as 20. Yeah. Good people.
Prosecutors hope that this will deter people from speaking up for animals, that it will deter people from rescuing them. And I ask that you do not let it. We will continue on, no matter what, until every animal is safe and happy and free.
She's only 23. It's so heartbreaking. But in the grander scheme of things, what she did is really, really important. In 1882, the British Empire made it illegal for Indians to collect or sell salt. Instead, Indian citizens had to buy the heavily taxed mineral from their British rulers. Not shockingly, taxes oppressed Indians living in poverty. In 1930, activist and lawyer Mahatma Gandhi launched an act of civil disobedience known as the Salt March. With supporters, he walked 240 miles to a coastal town to make salt from seawater. While Gandhi was arrested, activists continued to break the law, and in 1947, India won its independence. Point being, activism has a very long history of civil disobedience, of breaking laws intentionally because the person believes they're immoral. It's an extremely important part of changing public opinion, eventually, hopefully, changing laws. Whether someone thinks Zoe should have been found guilty or not, it's hard to deny that this is a terrible way for any creature to live, and I have no doubt coverage of this is going to make at least some people question what they're supporting when they buy Perdue chicken. Now, whether that directly leads to change, leads to people buying other food, I don't know, probably not most of the time. As I've said many times before, we need better chicken alternatives, meat alternatives, but we also need people like Zoe challenging the status quo, forcing jurors to convict someone for helping obviously sick animals, forcing the public to see the reality of these animals and to ask themselves if they really want to be on the side of factory farming, of giant corporations who only care about making as much money as possible off these animals. If the government let them treat these animals even worse, they absolutely would. If it meant reducing overhead so they can make more profit, they would. Despite this not being the outcome we hoped for, the verdict is still leading to international attention on Petaluma Poultry's crimes against animals. In less than 24 hours, it has been covered by the New York Times, The Guardian, and a number of other outlets. So in good news, and good news and bad news, I guess, the jury was not allowed to learn about much of the conditions these animals experience, which is exactly what the animal agriculture industry wants, right? Don't talk about the animals, talk about the crime, right? She stole from farmers, not huge corporation, but farmers. Everyone loves farmers. Like, clearly she's the bad guy. Anyway, the jurors didn't learn about the chickens being boiled alive. They didn't even get to see the photos or the videos from the farm showing the deplorable conditions, showing the chickens how obviously sick they are. The good news being, I think it would be much more disheartening if they had found her guilty, having been privy to all of that, having seen all of the footage. There's a chance if they knew the truth, things would have ended differently. They have attempted to use the criminal justice system itself as a platform to gain attention and further their movement. Miss Rodriguez, this is the DA. The court system exists to uphold justice, not to serve as a stage for self-promotion or lawless behavior. We will continue to hold individuals accountable when they cross that line. So finding Rosa Parks guilty for standing up for herself, standing up against bus segregation laws, that was good. Actually, she was breaking the law, right? Like, that's all I can think about hearing shit like this. I will not apologize for taking sick, neglected animals to get medical care. When we see cruelty and violence, we can choose to ignore it or to intervene and try to make the world a better place. For that, I will never be sorry. I have no doubt one day people like Zoe will be in history books or whatever is the equivalent of that, decades to come, not as, examples of criminals, but examples of heroes, people standing up for their values, putting themselves in harm's way to help animals, to bring social injustice to light, to try to change unjust laws. Thank you, Zoe. As I said, her sentencing is in December. It's December 3rd at 12:30 in Santa Rosa, California. So if you are in the area, please do consider showing up to support her. Anyway, that is it for me. I really hope you enjoyed this. I would love to know your thoughts. Oh, I do have one more thing. The New York Times article, this one, the comments are largely, overwhelmingly in support of Zoe. I don't think I saw one that wasn't. There was one where one guy was like, yeah, she was breaking the law, but he ended with like, she should wear this as a badge of honor if this is, what she believes. So, I mean, I think he's wrong. She should not have been found guilty, but, I kind of understand what he's saying, I guess. She definitely should wear it as a badge of honor. I agree with that. One person saying they work in the Alameda County DA's office and there's just so much crime, criminals guilty of crimes such as assault, fraud, even possession of child sexual assault material punished by probation. It's outrageous that the Sonoma County DA's office pursued this young woman on criminal charges and shows how the office is beholden to the factory farming industry. Yes, the video is horrifying. The chickens are overcrowded in a wooden building with several that are injured, sick, and dying. How could anyone possibly justify treating animals this way? And in California, of all places, this area in California is like farming country, lots of poultry, I think wine as well, which is just, yeah. California's weird. It's like Oregon, right? A lot of people think Oregon is just this huge liberal paradise. Not out east. Prosecuting her is a ridiculous waste of taxpayers' money. The wholesale cost of 4 chickens plus whatever she may have damaged when she broke into the place can't be more than a few $100. But now the state is spending tens of thousands or even more to arrest, prosecute, and jail her instead of investigating the inhumane conditions she says she was rescuing these creatures from. Sheer idiocy. So yeah, the more coverage of this, the better. So really that's it for me now. Thank you so much. Please do share your comments on this below. Thank you so much to all of my members here on YouTube and my patrons at patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. I do post 2 exclusive videos a month for tier 2 members and patrons. I'm actually about to record my first one for November. I do a vlog just talking about whatever. And then I do a controversial topic towards the end of the month. You can see here what my last video was about, last month's video. I thought it was kind of stupid, but I posted it anyway. And a lot of people said no. I mean, everyone who commented was like, it's good. So I don't know. It's just a place for me to talk about things that have nothing or very little to do with veganism. And it's a way for me to give back to people who support me with their money, which is just so awesome. All right. Thanks again, guys. New video soon.